The baby's wail pierced the autumn dusk like a shattered vow, raw and unrelenting, as if the very air in Willow Creek's forgotten park held its breath for the truth it carried. Ethan froze mid-step on the gravel path, his heart slamming against his ribs, because that cry wasn't just hunger or fear. It was the echo of a lie he'd buried 2 years ago, the one that had torn him from the man he loved. And in that frozen instant, as the sound clawed at his soul, he knew. Ignoring it this time wouldn't save anyone, least of all himself. In the shadow of the ancient oak where they'd once carved their initials E+J, now scarred and weeping sap, Jasper emerged from the mist, his face a map of grief and fury, cradling their niece Lily in arms that trembled not from cold, but from the betrayal he just unearthed in a single, damning voicemail. Ethan's boots crunched against the fallen leaves as he quickened his pace, the park's wrought iron lamps flickering to life like hesitant witnesses. Willow Creek, Ohio, had always been a place of half-truths, a Rust Belt town where factories shuttered dreams and family secrets festered like untreated wounds. At 28, Ethan Hale had thought he'd outrun it all. Fleeing to Cleveland after that final, shattering fight with Jasper, the man who'd been his anchor, his storm, his everything. But 2 years of bartending in dive bars, numbing the ache with cheap whiskey and fleeting hookups, hadn't erased the tattoo of Jasper's touch on his skin. The cry sharpened, pulling him back. It was Lily's, tiny, fierce, the daughter of Jasper's sister, Mia, born just months after Ethan left. He'd seen her face only in stolen glimpses on social media, a digital ghost haunting his feeds. Why here? Why now? The park was their spot, the one where Jasper had proposed under a meteor shower, ring simple and silver, promising forever in a world that rarely kept its word for men like them. He spotted them then. Jasper Quinn, broad-shouldered and unyielding, his dark curls damp from the evening chill, rocking the bundle against his chest with a tenderness that twisted Ethan's gut. Lily's sobs hitched, her chubby fists waving like flags of surrender. And beside Jasper, half hidden in the gloom, was old Mr. Harlan, Jasper's grandfather, the patriarch whose Bible-thumping disapproval had fueled their breakup like gasoline on embers. Harlan's face was ashen, eyes darting like a cornered animal. Ethan? Jasper's voice cracked the air, low and laced with disbelief. He straightened, Lily quieting against his heartbeat as if sensing the shift. What the hell are you doing here? Ethan's throat tightened. He'd come back to Willow Creek on a whim. A job interview at the old steel mill, revived by some green energy miracle, hoping to tie up loose ends without stirring ghosts. But the voicemail from Mia earlier that day had dragged him here. Grandpa's at the park with Lily. Something's wrong. Please, Ethan. For old times. I heard her. Ethan managed, steps faltering. Harlan's gaze locked on him, cold and accusatory. The same look that had branded Ethan an abomination years ago. Is she okay? Jasper's jaw clenched, the scar above his eyebrow. Gift from a bar brawl defending Ethan's honor, twitching. She's fine. But you? You vanished like smoke. And now you're back, sniffing around like nothing happened. His words were a blade, honed by nights alone, replaying their last argument. I can't keep hiding us, Jazz. Your family. They hate me. Jasper had begged him to stay, to fight. But Ethan had run, convinced love like theirs was a luxury Willow Creek couldn't afford. Harlan coughed, a wet, rattling sound that silenced them both. Boy! He rasped, voice gravel from decades of chain-smoking regrets. You shouldn't be here. This ain't your place no more. Lily whimpered again, softer now, and Jasper shushed her with a murmured lullaby. The one Ethan used to hum when they lay tangled in Jasper's childhood bed, whispering futures against the creak of floorboards. The sight cracked something in Ethan, a fissure widening to chasm. He stepped closer, drawn like iron to magnet. Let me see her. Jasper hesitated, eyes searching Ethan's face for the man he'd lost. In that suspended breath, the world narrowed. The rustle of wind through oaks, the distant hum of the interstate, the weight of unspoken years. Finally, Jasper shifted Lily into Ethan's arms, their fingers brushing. A spark that ignited memories of stolen kisses in truck beds, of road trips to hidden lakes where they could be free. She was warm, her lashes damp fans against flushed cheeks, smelling of talc and innocence. Ethan rocked her instinctively, the rhythm pulling a smile from her lips that pierced him deeper than any cry. "Hey, little storm," he whispered, throat burning. Jasper watched, arms crossed like a barrier, but his eyes betrayed him, soft, yearning. Harlan shifted uneasily, leaning on his cane. "We need to talk, Jasper. About her." His gaze flicked to Lily, then away, as if the word scorched. Jasper's posture stiffened. "Not now, Grandpa. Not in front of him." Ethan's pulse thundered. "Her?" The pronoun hung heavy, laced with implication. Mia's voicemail echoed, the truth behind it. What truth? Lily was Mia's miracle baby, conceived via donor after her divorce, a beacon of hope in their fractured family. But Harlan's discomfort suggested shadows beneath the joy. "Give her back," Harlan snapped, hand outstretched. "This concerns blood, not outsiders." The word landed like a slap, and Ethan's arms tightened around Lily protectively. Jasper stepped between them, voice steel. "He's not an outsider. Not to me. Not ever." The air crackled, the first raindrops pattering like hesitant applause. Ethan met Jasper's gaze, seeing the war there, loyalty to family versus the pull of what they'd been. "Jazz, what's going on?" Mia said. "It's nothing," Jasper cut in, too quick, but his eyes screamed otherwise. Harlan's cough returned, harsher, and he doubled over, clutching his chest. Lily startled, her cry reigniting, shrill, demanding. Ethan thrust her back to Jasper, free hand pressing Harlan's shoulder. "Hey, easy. Breathe." The old man's skin was clammy, breath labored. Panic flickered in Jasper's eyes as he juggled Lily, dialing 911 with one hand. "Grandpa? Talk to me." Sirens wailed in the distance, summoned by Jasper's frantic words. But Ethan saw it first, the pallor, the clutching fist. Heart attack. As paramedics swarmed minutes later, lights slashing the rain-slicked night, Ethan held Lily while Jasper rode in the ambulance, their hands clasping over the carrier like a vow renewed. At the hospital, fluorescent buzz and antiseptic sting assaulted the senses. Ethan paced the ER waiting room, Lily dozing against his chest, her tiny breaths a fragile anchor. Mia arrived in a whirlwind of scrubs, nurse by trade, warrior by blood, eyes red-rimmed. "Ethan? God, thank you for being there." He hugged her awkwardly, one-armed. "What happened? With Grandpa?" She glanced at Lily, then pulled him to a corner vinyl chair. "It's complicated. He was watching her today like always, but he got this call from some lawyer in Columbus about Lily's donor." Her voice dropped. "Turns out the clinic mixed up records. Her biological father. It's not who we thought." Ethan's stomach plummeted. Donor anonymity was sacred, a firewall against complications. "Who then?" Mia's lips trembled. "Someone from our past. Yours and Jasper's." She squeezed his hand. "It implicates Grandpa in a lie that's been eating him alive. That's why he was at the park, to tell Jasper before. Everything. Before the cry that summoned Ethan. The call that might save Harlan's life or shatter it." As doctors emerged, Jasper trailing with haunted eyes, Ethan realized the hook had set deep. Their love, presumed dead, now entangled in a web of blood and deception that could drown them all. The rain hammered the windows like accusations as Jasper collapsed into a chair, head in hands. "He's stable. For now." His voice was hollow, echoing the boy Ethan had met at 17, sneaking smokes behind the high school bleachers, both outcasts in a town that prized conformity. Ethan slid Lily's carrier beside him, settling close enough to feel Jasper's warmth. "Tell me." Jasper's head lifted, eyes stormy. "The donor. Is you, Ethan." Grandpa knew. He paid the clinic to make it anonymous, to keep you out of our lives after you left. Said it was for the family. But Lily's cry today, it triggered something in him. He confessed everything on that voicemail Mia found. The revelation landed like thunder, Lily's earlier wail now a siren's call to reckoning. Ethan, father to the child he'd never known he sired. A donation made in college, a selfless act for a friend, twisted into secrecy by Harlan's bigotry. Betrayal bloomed, hot and vicious, but beneath it, a deeper ache. The family they'd built in shadows, now illuminated in cruel light. I didn't know, Ethan whispered, hand hovering near Jasper's. I swear. Jasper's fingers intertwined with his, grip bruising. I believe you, but him, my own grandfather. Tears carved tracks down his stubbled cheeks. He used your gift against you, against us. In that sterile limbo, with Lily's soft snores bridging them, Ethan leaned in, forehead to Jasper's. We face it together, like always. But dawn brought no ease. Harlan woke, demanding Jasper alone. In the room's dim hush, the old man gripped his grandson's wrist. I did it to protect you, boy. From scandal. From him. His eyes, milky with age, held no remorse. Only the rigid faith that had cost them dearly. Jasper recoiled. Protect? You stole Ethan's daughter from him. Lied to Mia. What kind of man? God-fearing, Harlan wheezed. And you'll thank me when you see the light. The words ignited the first spark of true conflict. Jasper storming out to find Ethan in the hall. Lily in his arms like a talisman. He won't budge. Thinks he's the hero. Ethan's resolve hardened. The romantic fool in him yielding to the fighter Jasper had always seen. Then we make him. For her. As they walked into the light-streaked morning, Willow Creek stirring beyond the glass. The path ahead forked. Forgiveness or fracture, love or loss. But Lily's contented sigh promised one truth. Some cries were meant to be answered, no matter the cost. The days blurred into a tense vigil at Willow Creek General, where the beeps of monitors became a grim metronome to their unraveling world. Ethan and Jasper traded shifts with Mia, a fragile truce born of necessity, but the air between the lovers crackled with unresolved storms. They'd stolen moments in the cafeteria, coffee gone cold, knees brushing under Formica tables, whispering plans laced with the old electricity that had first drawn them together. Jasper's laugh, rare now, still lit Ethan's veins like summer fireflies. Ethan's steady gaze still grounded Jasper's tempests. But Harlan's room was a battlefield. The old man, propped on pillows like a deposed king, alternated between stony silence and venomous barbs. You bring that sinner here again, he'd growl when Ethan entered with Lily. And I'll disown the lot of you. Mia, ever the mediator, hovered like a ghost, her exhaustion etched in shadows under her eyes. Daddy, please. Lily needs all of us. But her pleas glanced off Harlan's convictions, forged in the fires of a generation that viewed love like theirs as a curable affliction. One evening, as frost etched the windows, Ethan sat alone with the baby. Jasper stepped out for air. Lily gurgled, her tiny fingers clutching his thumb. His eyes, blue as Lake Erie, locking with a wisdom beyond her months. What did I do, kiddo? He murmured, voice thick. Donate once, thinking it'd help some stranger, and now, this. The door creaked. Harlan wheeled in via orderly, eyes narrowing at the scene. Give her here, boy. You're no father. Ethan's blood surged. He stood, Lily secure. Funny, that's exactly what I am. And you? You're the thief who hid it. Harlan's face purpled, but his retort died as pain lanced his chest. Alarms blared. Nurses swarmed. In the chaos, Ethan's call to the clinic, frantic, demanding records, yielded a bombshell. Harlan hadn't just concealed. He'd tampered, bribing a clerk to swap files, ensuring Ethan's donation went to Mia under false pretenses. Motive? To cleanse the family line, erasing any tie to Ethan's lifestyle. Jasper burst in as they stabilized Harlan, face ashen from the cold outside. What happened? Ethan's voice shook. He confessed more than you know. It's not just hiding, it's fraud. He rigged it, Jazz, to keep me gone forever. Jasper's world tilted. He staggered to the bed, fists clenched. Why? I loved him, Ethan. We were building something real. Harlan's eyes, fever bright, met his grandsons. Because love like that destroys. Look at your folks, divorced, broken. I spared you the same. The lie cracked Jasper open. His parents' split had been Harlan's doing too, shaming his son for softness, pushing a marriage of convenience that crumbled. Jasper saw it now, a legacy of control masquerading as care. You spared no one, he whispered. You just built walls around your fear. That night, in the hospital's dim family lounge, Ethan and Jasper finally shattered their own. Lily asleep in a bassinet, they faced each other across the sagging couch, the weight of 2 years pressing down. I thought you'd moved on, Jasper admitted, voice raw. Saw you in Cleveland. That photo with some guy, smiling like you forgot. Ethan's laugh was bitter. Photoshopped for a friend's bar promo. God, Jez, every night I replayed us. The lake house, that storm when we danced in the rain, promising we'd leave this town behind. Jasper closed the distance, hands framing Ethan's face, thumbs tracing jawlines memorized in dreams. I never stopped, even when I hated you for leaving. Their kiss was tentative, then fierce, a collision of grief and hunger, tasting of salt and second chances. It wasn't passion's blaze, but a slow burn, romantic in its reclamation, sealing cracks with whispered apologies. Yet dawn brought betrayal's sharper edge. Mia, poring over clinic emails on her laptop, uncovered Harlan's deeper web, letters to a private investigator, tracking Ethan's life post-breakup, ensuring no interference. Worse, he'd whispered doubts to Jasper's ear during visits. He's using you, boy. Men like that always do, sowing seeds that had driven the final wedge. Confrontation came at noon, Harlan stronger, propped up like a general. The family assembled. Mia tearful, Jasper iron-willed, Ethan resolute with Lily on his hip. You spied on me, Ethan said, voice steady. Tried to poison what we had. Harlan's defiance wavered, eyes flicking to Lily. I protected my blood. Your blood is her, Jasper thundered, pointing to the baby. And him. You don't get to choose. The old man's facade crumbled then, sobs racking his frail frame. I was wrong. Feared losing you two, that life. But seeing her cry, knowing his gift in her, it broke me open. It was the first fracture in the wall, a humanistic glimmer amid the drama. But conflict simmered. Whispers spread through Willow Creek's tight-knit veins. Townies at the diner murmuring about that Quinn mess. Old friends texting Jasper warnings. External pressure mounted as the clinic threatened legal action for the tampering. Subpoenas looming like storm clouds. In the eye, Ethan and Jasper rebuilt tentatively. Walks with Lily along the Cuyahoga River, her laughter bridging silences. Late nights in Jasper's apartment, bodies entwined not in lust but comfort, hands mapping scars, physical and otherwise. Marry me, Jasper murmured one midnight, silver ring glinting anew. Not for show. For us. Ethan's yes was a bomb, but the thrill of reunion carried undercurrents of dread. Harlan's recovery stalled. Tests revealed not just heart strain, but early dementia. Memories fracturing like the secrets he'd hoarded. In lucid moments, he reached for Lily, voice soft. Forgive an old fool? Jasper's heart warred. Love for the man who'd raised him clashing with righteous fury. Ethan, ever the bridge, urged patience. Hate the act, not the man. He raised you strong enough to fight back. The climax brewed on a crisp November eve, as snow dusted Willow Creek streets. A town hall meeting, called ostensibly for mill updates, turned ambush when Harlan's old cronies, church elders with pitchfork tongues, cornered Jasper post-adjournment. Leading our boys astray, one sneered, flyers clutched. Distorted tales of Ethan's predatory past, lies amplified by Harlan's unwitting leaks to the PI. Jasper shoved back, Ethan at his side, Lily bundled in the truck outside with Mia. Fists flew, brief, brutal. A nose bloodied, badges called. In the squad car ride home, sirens mocking their fragile peace, Jasper broke. I can't do this here. Not with her. Ethan's hand on his thigh was anchor. Then we don't. Cleveland. Together. But betrayal's final twist awaited at dawn. Harlan, in a dementia-fueled haze, had confessed all to the pastor. Clinic bribes, the PI, even a forged will cutting Jasper out unless he repented. The call came as they packed. Not from family, but police. Embezzlement suspicions, Harlan's donations to the church, funneled from family funds to bury secrets. Racing to the station, Ethan gripped Jasper's hand. The romantic dream now a gauntlet. Whatever comes, we're the truth he couldn't erase. In the interrogation room's glare, Harlan sat shrunken, confusion veiling guilt. I only wanted family whole. Jasper knelt, tears falling. It is whole. With him. With her. The elder's hand trembled in his. A bridge extended at last. Outside, snow fell thick, blanketing sins. Ethan's phone buzzed. A clinic rep. Charges dropped. Records sealed for Lily's sake. The call that saved not just Harlan's life, but their own, exposing lies to forge something human, flawed, enduring. Yet the thrill lingered, hearts pounding as they drove home. Lily's coo's a lullaby against the unknown. Winter clamped Willow Creek in iron jaws. Streets slick with ice that mirrored the slipperiness of half-truths still surfacing. The embezzlement probe fizzled. Harlan's donations deemed eccentric. Not criminal, thanks to a shrewd lawyer Mia unearthed. But the damage rippled. Church pews emptied for Jasper. Old buddies ghosted. The town's gaze a perpetual inquisition. Ethan felt it keenest, the outsider branded deeper, yet in Jasper's quiet defenses. Arms slung protective over his shoulder at the grocery, glares daring judgment. He found a romance forged in fire unyielding. They moved to Ethan's Cleveland sublet, a cramped walk-up overlooking the lake. Lily's crib squeezed between their bed and a window framing steel-gray waves. Mornings were ritual. Ethan brewing coffee strong as his resolve. Jasper burping Lily amid laughter that chased shadows. Look at her, Jasper marveled one dawn, her first tooth glinting like a pearl. Our little rebel. Nights deepened their bond, bodies speaking where words faltered. Slow explorations under threadbare quilts. Kisses tracing collarbones. Whispers of futures laced with we. No frenzy, but a profound intimacy, humanistic in its vulnerability. Ethan confessing boyhood beatings for holding Tommy Riley's hand at recess. Jasper admitting the terror of coming out to Harlan, met with silence heavier than screams. Harlan's decline accelerated, dementia stealing chunks of the man who'd shaped them. Mia drove weekly, ferrying him for visits. Awkward at first, Lily wary of the stranger in Grandpa's skin. But breakthroughs came. Harlan's gnarled hands steadying as he held her, humming forgotten hymns that lulled her to sleep. Reminds me of your ma, he'd murmur to Jasper, lucid flickers piercing fog. To Ethan, rarer graces, sorry son, for the walls. Forgiveness wasn't linear. It jagged like lightning. Jasper wrestled demons in therapy sessions Ethan funded from bar tips, unpacking the betrayal's layers. How Harlan's protection had mirrored his own father's abandonment. A cycle Jasper vowed to break. I almost lost you to it, he'd say, pulling Ethan close. Won't again. External tempests gathered too. The mill job panned out for Ethan, welder, steady pay, but whispers followed. A coworker spotting the queer wedding registry online, their impulsive courthouse plan. Rings engraved E+J forever. Sabotage struck subtle. A misplaced tool here, graffiti on his locker there, until a foreman pulled him aside. Town talks poison, hail. Family man's what we need. Ethan burned to quit, but Jasper's plea held him. Fight for us here. Show Lily roots don't have to choke. The true high tide crashed in February, Valentine's shadowed by Harlan's worsening spells. A call shattered a rare date night. Candles flickering over takeout pasta. Lily with Mia. He's gone, Mia sobbed. Wandered into the blizzard. Mumbling about the park. They raced back, Ethan driving through wide-out fury. Jasper's prayers a litany against the dash. Found him by the oak. Half-buried, lips blue, clutching a faded photo. Young Jasper and Ethan, arms linked at prom, defying dress codes and matching ties. Brought you together, Harlan whispered as paramedics loaded him. Eyes clear for the first time in months. My last gift. Hypothermia clawed deep. I see you again. Tubes snaking like accusations. In the waiting vigil, conflict peaked. Jasper unraveling, blaming himself for distance. Ethan the steady rock cracking under strain. Maybe he was right, Jasper hurled in exhaustion's delirium, words venom. Maybe we do destroy. Ethan recoiled, pain a fresh wound. Is that what you believe? After everything. He stormed to the chapel, empty save for stained glass saints gazing indifferently. Kneeling, he raged silently. Not to God, but the boy who'd once prayed for normalcy. Rising, resolve crystallized. Love wasn't destruction. It was the daring to rebuild from ruins. He returned to find Jasper curled on vinyl, tears silent. I didn't mean, Jasper choked. I know. Ethan knelt, cupping his face. We're not his fears. We're ours. Their embrace was lifeline, romantic in raw honesty. Lips meeting soft, promises breathed against skin. In that hush, Mia joined, Lily in arms, her cry a bridge. Harlan stirred at the sound, monitors steadying as if summoned. Recovery was miracle-tinged. Doctors marveled at the guardian angel effect. But the real climax unfolded days later. Harlan lucid in a sun-dappled room. Family gathered. I see it now, he rasped, hand extended to Ethan. The cry that night. Lily's, but yours too. Unfinished business calling you back. Ethan took it, grip firm. It saved more than one life. Harlan nodded, tears carving canyons. We'll read's fair now, and bless you both. For her. For making me whole at the end. The words dissolved barriers, a humanistic catharsis washing clean. Jasper wept openly, Mia squeezing hands in circle. Blood and chosen, intertwined. Outside, spring teased buds on barren branches, mirroring thaw. Yet betrayal's echo lingered in subtler forms. Back in Cleveland, a letter arrived. Anonymous, postmarked Willow Creek. Inside, clinic docs, Harlan's bribes detailed, but also a confession from the clerk, coerced by the elder's desperation. He feared your love would claim Jasper's soul, it read. But souls aren't claimed. They're freed. Ethan burned it with Jasper. Ashes scattered to the lake. Ritual release. Their wedding followed in April. Small. Mia matron, Lily flower girl in a bonnet too big. Vows exchanged on a pier as freighters horned distant blessings. In chaos and calm, Jasper said, ring sliding home. Your hand in mine. Ethan's reply, through cries and silences, forever. The romance bloomed post-vows. Honeymoon in the Smokies. Lily with Mia. Trails winding to waterfalls where they made love under stars. Bodies attuned in tender rhythm. Emotions laid bare. This is us, Jasper murmured, fingers laced. Human, messy, true. Back home, life wove forward. Ethan's promotion. Jasper's carpentry shop thriving on reclaimed wood. Symbols of mending. Harlan, in assisted living, visited Sundays, stories flowing freer, dementia yielding to grace. Lily's first steps? Toward Ethan, giggling dead-ah. Sealing legacies. But drama's thrill never fully ebbed. A final conflict arose in summer swelter. Town elders sued the clinic over moral breaches. Dragging old wounds public. Headlines screaming, queer donor scandal rocks heartland. Protests flared outside Jasper's shop, pickets waving crosses. Jasper faltered, old insecurities clawing. They won't stop. What if? Ethan shut him with a kiss. Fierce. Then we roar louder. They countered with a blog, Jasper's words, Ethan's photos. Lily's smiles, Harlan's letters of amends. A narrative of love's triumph over bigotry. It went viral, shares rippling to national news, turning venom to dialogue. A senator quoted them in a speech on family redefinition. Donations poured for LGBTQ youth shelters. In the afterglow, as fireflies danced their backyard, Ethan held Jasper close, Lily between. From one cry to this, he said, worth every scar. Jasper's smile, sunset-kissed, agreed. Autumn returned to Cleveland like a prodigal. Leaves carpeting sidewalks in crimson confessions. mirroring the slow unfurling of their healed hearts. Willow Creek receded to holiday cards and biannual drives, Harlan's letters, scribbled in faltering script, arriving like olive branches. Lily's laugh echoes your mother's, grateful for the man who brought it home. The betrayal's sting dulled to lessen, a humanistic scar reminding that redemption wasn't erasure, but evolution. Ethan thrived at the mill, his welds precise as vows, mentoring apprentices with Jasper's quiet pride in his eyes. Nights, they cooked, Jasper's chili spicy as his temper, Ethan's cornbread soft as forgiveness. Lily smearing faces in high chairs, her babbles a symphony of tomorrows. Romance wove through mundane. Surprise picnics by the lake, Jasper sketching Ethan's profile in charcoal, capturing the crinkle of laugh lines earned hard. Yet undercurrents stirred, emotional tides pulling at seams. Jasper's therapy unearthed buried grief. Not just Harlan's, but his own. The teen years masking crushes with bravado, the fear that love like theirs was borrowed time. What if I break us? He'd confess in pillow talk dimness, Ethan's arms his harbor. You won't. Ethan always countered, kisses punctuation. We're shatterproof now. Lily turned two in a whirlwind of balloons and cake, her party a testament. Mia's new partner, a kind-eyed teacher, toasting toasts. Harlan, wheeled in, beaming at her cake-smeared grin. Grandpa's girl, he called her. Hand on Ethan's knee, a gesture small, seismic. As dusk fell, the old man pulled Jasper aside. Proud of you, son, for choosing heart over hate. Jasper's nod was thick-throated. Learned from the best at the end. The drama's embers reignited unexpectedly that fall. A thriller twist in ordinary mail. A package, unmarked, containing a cassette tape, Harlan's voice, recorded pre-dementia, a confessional litany. I rigged the stars to keep you safe, but clipped your wings. Forgive the fool who feared joy. It detailed more. The PI's reports, shredded now, but logs of interventions. Anonymous tips to Ethan's old jobs. Nudges to Cleveland bars to watch himself. Rage flared brief. Jasper hurled the player, tape snapping like brittle bone. Even in death, he meddles. But Ethan salvaged shards, playing fragments. Harlan's voice cracking on I see your light in him. Boy, let it shine. They mourned anew. Not the villain, but the man trapped in his era's cage. Funeral came quiet in November. Willow Creek blanketed white. Eulogies from unlikely mouths. Mia fierce, a pastor progressive, quoting Corinthians on love's endurance. Jasper spoke last, voice steady. He taught me family isn't blood alone. It's the choices that bind us. Ethan stood sentinel, Lily on hip, her quiet gaze on the casket a poignant hush. Post-burial, conflict crested emotional. Jasper spiraled, doubts flooding. Without his shadow, who am I? The fighter or just scared? Sleepless nights stretched, arguments sharp. Ethan accusing withdrawal, Jasper lashing at fixing him. One storm-lashed eve, words peaked. Maybe you stayed for pity? Jasper flung, old wounds reopened. Ethan's exit was thunder, door slamming, truck roaring to the lake. There, waves crashing judgment. He wept for the boy who'd run once, vowing no more. Returning sodden, he found Jasper on stoop, eyes red. Don't go. I can't lose you to my mess. Their reconciliation was raw poetry. Bodies colliding in foyer shadows, kisses desperate then devotional, hands relearning trust. You're my compass? Ethan breathed, foreheads pressed. Scared or not, we're mapped together. Spring heralded renewal, Lily's words tumbling, dada love dada. A child's truth disarming adults' fears. They expanded the shop, Jasper crafting queer-affirming furniture. Benches for pride events, cradles for rainbow families. Ethan volunteered at shelters, his story, donor-turned-dad through Cries call, inspiring panels on chosen kinship. Romance deepened in subtleties. Anniversary hike to the old park, oak scarred but standing, carving Lily's initial beside theirs, E+J+L, eternal triad. Under Meteorfall, Jasper renewed vows. Through betrayals and breakthroughs, you're my home. Ethan's heart swelled. And your mind flawed, fierce, free. Years folded forward, humanistic arcs bending toward light. Lily at 5, braids flying, demanding stories of the big cry that brought Dadas. They spun it gentle, a song that called family home. Harlan's legacy, a foundation cracked, rebuilt stronger. His will funding scholarships for out youth, inscribed for echoes that heal. One twilight, as fireflies summoned summer, Ethan watched Jasper chase Lily through yard, laughter mingling with crickets. The baby's wail, that distant hook, had unraveled lies, birthed truths. Love's not absence of storm, but dancing in rain. Betrayal's blade had carved space for grace. Conflict's fire forged unbreakable bonds. In the hush, Ethan joined them, arms encircling all. The call that saved her life? It had saved theirs, whispering that in America's heartland, amid rust and resolve, queer hearts could cry loud, love deep, and emerge whole. As stars wheeled overhead, Jasper's gaze met his soft, sure. Forever starts here. And Ethan, heart full, knew it true.